Welcome to This Place from Oregon Humanities. Each week, we ask Oregonians about the places that matter to them, where they live, where they work, and where they find meaning and joy. This week, we hear from Roberta Lee in Selma.
I live in Selma, Oregon, which is just a few miles from Cave Junction, Oregon, which is where my little rural library lives. I'm part of the Josephine Community Library System in the Illinois Valley branch. I'm officially the branch services manager, which means I'm in charge of the rural branches in our system, but I'm headquartered in the Illinois Valley branch in Cave Junction. I volunteered at the library. I applied for a position as an assistant, and then I applied for the branch manager position at the Illinois Valley branch, and then I was promoted to the branch services manager. And I had no idea how rewarding a job at the library could be. Having been a patron of a library, I know what the resources are. I know how important libraries are. I know how well my kids benefited from being in the library on the regular. And I am absolutely thrilled that I get to serve my community behind that counter every day. I don't think I ever would have realized how my community rallies for things that are important to them until our library closed. And when our library closed, my whole community went absolutely bonkers. And it wasn't 3 days later that we had volunteers turning up at the door going, how do we get it back open? What do you need? How can we help? The same thing when my library was broken into. Somebody had broken the front window. Somebody posted it on Facebook. I came down the next morning and I had 12 people all lined up with their handkerchiefs on their heads and their brooms in their hands, and they were ready to clean. And it just really is so heartwarming to see people with their emotions right out on their sleeves, showing what's important to them. I moved here from a metropolitan area, and I grew up in Southern California, but I went to college in Seattle. It took me 3 years to acclimate just to living in rural America. I would try and drive into Grants Pass every day, or go to the gym every day, or go to the grocery store every day, because it just felt so isolated and lonely. It took a while to kind of get to the point where you're comfortable in that silence and that peaceful quiet. But I feel empowered by it. I feel like I'm capable of harvesting my own firewood and growing some of my own food and being fairly self-sufficient. I live on 11 acres in the middle of the woods. I don't have any curtains in my windows. I have a really forested piece of land that I love. And for the longest time, I didn't even know my neighbors. Having been in Seattle, having grown up in Los Angeles, we don't even realize how much noise we're surrounded by every day, all day long, until you get into the quiet and you go, I don't hear anything.
That was Roberta Lee in Selma. Roberta manages the Illinois Valley Branch Library in Cave Junction. To hear more stories from This Place, visit OregonHumanities.org or subscribe to the show on iTunes or Spotify. Thanks for listening.